Warning: the following content contains a lot of spoilers. If you don't want to get spoiled, feel free to click off this video and watch a different video of mine. You're free to come back here after you completed the anime. Viewers' discretion is advised. This is only the second sports anime I have reviewed on this channel after Blue Box. Funnily enough, they both have blue in their titles. Anyways, this anime was pretty powerful and great at the same time. No wonder why this anime became so popular when it was released. Before I explain everything, let's get right to the introduction. Blue Lock is based on a manga series written by Muneyuki Kaneshiro and illustrated by Yusuke Nomura. As of the time of recording, there were 38 volumes and 374 chapters since 2018. While the anime series is still ongoing, and it currently has 2 seasons and 38 episodes since 2022. It was animated by 8-Bit, an animation studio that also animated every season of Tensura. Without further ado, let's get right to the plot. We start the anime with a striker named Isagi, and Isagi has just lost a game that would have him disqualified for nationals. This makes him extremely sad that he couldn't win, so he goes back home. Once he goes back home, he suddenly gets an envelope from the Japan Football Union inviting him to come to Blue Lock. You may be wondering, is it just him invited? Oh no, over 300 other strikers are invited to play in Blue Lock. This whole tournament is run by a guy named Ego, and Ego made Blue Lock to see who is great enough to play for the Japan national football team. Let's say this, the winner will become the national team's starting striker, but everyone who loses will be permanently banned from ever trying to join the national team. So the first trial with Blue Lock is a game of tag, so whoever is the last player being hit before the time runs out will be eliminated. It first starts with a player who everyone calls Igaguri being hit, before he kicks it to a player named Kunigami. Kunigami would try to kick it back to Igaguri, but he accidentally kicks it to Isagi. Isagi would be it for the majority of the trial until a player named Bachira takes the ball away from Isagi, and in the last second he kicks it back to Isagi, where he would kick it to a player named Kira, and Kira is the player who got Isagi eliminated from nationals. So you could say Isagi got his revenge on Kira since he is now eliminated from Blue Lock. The last 11 players who remain will now form a team together, which is Team C. Team C now have to live together, work with each other, and play together. So Team C has a game against Team X, but they ended up losing pretty badly. They got hit with a 5-1 score during the whole 90 minutes of playtime. From Team X, 4 goals were scored by a player named Baro, and one of them was scored by a player named Meiji. The only goal scored by Team C was from Kunigami, so after that embarrassing game, they decided to try harder and stronger for the second game. Team C plays against Team Y, and here, Team C ended up winning 2-1. It first started with a goal from Team Y by a player named Okawa, so Team C made a comeback with a player named Gagamaru scoring the equalizer, and Isagi scoring the game-winning goal. After that win, 2 things ended up happening. The first thing is that a player from Team C is afraid of playing football. That player is named Chigiri, and why is he afraid of playing? A year before coming to Blue Lock, he tore his ACL. Due to this horrible injury, this made him afraid of playing since he could risk getting it torn again. If he tore his ACL again, he would no longer play football. The second thing is that the next day, Isagi becomes the team's top player, so he's currently the best on the team at the moment. In today's game, Team C plays against Team W, and they stay tied 4-4 for a reason given. The game started with a player named Kuon scoring the first 3 goals, but suddenly, Kuon betrays the team when he all of a sudden gave Team W 4 goals. 2 of them are from the Wanima brothers of the team, Junichi and Keisuke. Turns out Kuon was secretly working with Team W so Kuon could become the best player of the team and be the only player to advance to the next game without his teammates. The Wanima brothers also make fun of Chigiri since they knew him before and after Chigiri got injured last year. so Chigiri gets his revenge where he shows off his skill in the match, running extremely fast, not caring that he could get injured again. Due to his skill, he scored the equalizer, making the team go off with a tied score. After the match, Kuwon tries to negotiate with the next team Team C is going against so he can do the same thing he did with Team W, but thankfully, they refuse to listen to him. So for the next game, they play against Team V, and let's just say this was a crazy game since Team C won 5-4. It started with 0-3 due to 2 goals from a player named Nagi and 1 goal from a player named Santetsu, but then it became 3-3. The first goal was scored by Bachira, the second goal was scored by Kunigami, and the third goal was scored by Chigiri. The last 3 goals ended up like this. Team V's 4th goal was scored by Nagi, then Team C's equalized after Kunigami scored the 4th goal. The game-winning goal was scored by Isagi, which made the team win, and everyone from Team C advances, alongside Team V. Everyone from Team W, X, and Y all got eliminated, except Junichi from Team W, Baro from Team X, and Nico from Team Y, due to all of them being the top goal scorers in their team. So all the remaining players are told that they are going to be playing in a series of challenges. It will start with 3 strikers forming a team, and when they make it to 5 strikers at the end, they will advance. Here is another catch. When the opponent team loses, the winning team will pick 1 player from the losing team to join them. So when Isagi and Bachira find each other, they form a team. Surprisingly enough, Nagi decides to join Isagi and Bachira since he decided not to play with the player who trained him and convinced him to play football, Leo. So Isagi, Bachira, and Nagi play their first match against 3 other players, Rin, Aryu, and Tokimitsu. In this match, Isagi, Bachira, and Nagi lost 2-5, and Rin, Aryu, and Tokimitsu decided to pick Bachira to join them, so Bachira joined. Isagi and Nagi go into the second stage where they play against Baru and Naruhaya, who is one of Isagi's Team C teammates, and Isagi and Nagi win 5-4 and chose Baru to join them, which eliminates Naruhaya from Blue Lock and banned from ever playing for the Japan national football team. They advance back to stage 3 where they would play against 2 of Isagi's former Team C teammates, Kunigami and Chigiri, and Nagi's friend who convinced him to play football, Rail. So in this match, Isagi, Nagi, and Baro won 5-4 against them, and they chose Chigiri to join them, making them advance to the 4th stage. Since they won and advanced to the 4th stage, Isagi has a plan where they want to play against Rin's team so they can win Bachira back in advance. The team decides to play against Rin's team, and unfortunately for Isagi, he and his team lose 4-5 against Rin's team. However, Rin chose Isagi to join his team, so Isagi joins Rin's team and goes with them, leaving Nagi, Baro, and Chigiri behind. Before Rin's team goes to the second stage and sees the last remaining teams, they play against 5 of the best strikers currently playing for the national teams, and Rin's team, of course, loses. The score ends up being 1-5, which I'm surprised they even scored 1. But this was just a test for Rin's team to show them how good those players were. It was not a serious or required match. Anyways, Rin's team heads to the second stage to meet up with the rest of the players, and here are the other players I have mentioned that made it. Nagi, Baro, Chigiri, Santetsu, Nico, Raichi, Gagamaru, Junichi Wanima, Igaguri, and Rail. However, Isagi expected Kunigami to advance, but he never did. Instead, a player named Shido advanced, and he was the reason why Kunigami got eliminated. Both Isagi and Shido do get into an argument, but thankfully, Chigiri and Bachida stop them and threaten Shido that they will fight him. Before they do, Ego stops them and makes an announcement. In the end, Ego announces to the finalists about a change in the next section, which is about a match between them and Japan's U20 team. This game is their only hope, or else Blue Lock will shut down, which means the anime ends with Ego having faith in the Blue Lock players, hoping they can win. Okay, this was a pretty good plot to talk about. I am glad I have gone through all that. Let's move on to the animation. The animation is pretty good. I love how the frames per second are used properly for an anime like this. The art style is also pretty neat, and I appreciate the animators who took their effort and time into animating this anime. Let's move on to the opening and ending themes. The first opening is alright. It sounded good from the beginning, but it started to sound boring at the end due to how it got me hyped for the chorus. But when it sounded unexciting for me, the opening made me not proud of it. This opening is performed by Unison Square Garden. The second opening is better than the first opening since it has more excitement to it. Even though this opening is also alright, it's a bit better than the first opening. I'm not feeling these two openings for your information. This opening is performed by Ash the Hero. The first ending is pretty chill. I can just play this ending anytime when I'm feeling upset so I can calm myself down. This ending is performed by Gagamaru's voice actor, Shugo Nakamura. The second ending is actually my favorite out of all the songs I have mentioned here. I like how this ending has happy vibes for an ending theme, not depressing like many other ending themes would. This ending is also performed by Unison Square Garden. Let's move on to the voice acting. The voice acting was pretty solid and deep. It was also aggressive and accurate since it's the reality of how football players would act towards their opponents in real life as well. Players in real life would feel bad for their opponents, but at the same time, they feel excited about defeating their opponents since they are the winners at the end of the day. Let's move on to the pacing. The pacing was slow. However, it made me understand the plot better with the slow pacing. I don't like slow pacing in anime, but in this example, it makes me understand what is happening in the plot, such as going into detail and context of what is happening in the situation slowly by slowly. Time for my final review. Time for my final review for Blue Lock. I'm placing Blue Lock on Feel Free to Watch It, in between Nana and Black Lagoon Roberto's Blood Trail. This is a pretty exciting anime I enjoyed watching. Even if anyone says sports animes are boring, I would still watch this one. Time for my outro. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And please follow my socials in the description down below. And stay tuned for next week because I am reviewing Blue Lock vs. U20 Japan. Until then, this is Enjeru signing off.